Libra, welcome to your end of February 2023 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. Ooh, got a Capricorn in your life. What can I say? Okay. The heart of the matter is the Devil card. This is a card of, to me, I always think of the narcissist, the person who is totally into service to self in life. People say, oh yeah, the narcissist is somebody who's self-absorbed. That would be a mild variety. I mean, some narcissists are always energy vampires because they can't feel, so they're feeding off of the negative energy of other people. Well, if you're not that negative, they're going to try to create situations that force you into negative emotions. And you can feel this sense of, a lot of anguish and confusion because you don't understand why they do this, but they do it because they don't feel. And that's how they can obtain energy, but it's a negative type of energy. But the Devil card in general can mean someone who's in bondage to someone else. The illustration shows somebody like holding, like they are a marionette, and they've got their puppet on a string, and that's showing the control. But that need to control, a person who would be like that is somebody who is in bondage, because when you are in your personal power, you have zero need to control somebody else. That's not where you're at. So anybody who is like that, they are not powerful. But they can give other people the impression that they are powerful, and they need to be in control. They can't have an equal relationship. So you have to know this if you're involved with one of these types of people, or if you have left that relationship, you need to know what they're all about. So if they try to get back into your life, you can keep them at bay. And the other thing too is, if this could be like a boss. It's not necessarily a partner. Whoever this person is, what you need to know is that they need power. It could be a parent who, sometimes these people will use money as their way of controlling. So you have to be able to see through that, because if you don't, you may take the bait and then you'll be even more controlled. If this is your partner, then it can feel like it's hard to break away from them, but you're probably in a very negative space if that is your partner, because you have to be with them all the time. It's a little bit different if it's somebody that you're not with 24/7. But also, if you are in a job that you don't like, but it pays well, you could be the devil, because you could be staying for the wrong reasons. This card is connected to Capricorn. That's why I mentioned that. And it's interesting because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. When we say Satan, Saturn, is there a connection there? Sure sounds like it, doesn't it? In the past position, we have the Two of Pentacles. In some cases, you may be choosing between two people, and this devil, if I don't know what else to call this person, I'll call them a narcissist, might be one of them. And you may be involved in a new relationship, and then all of a sudden this person comes back into your life. Sometimes they can even be ghosting you, and then they come back when you're involved with somebody else. Doesn't mean that they care. They just don't want you to be independent. If you have been trying to work somewhere else because your boss is like the devil, it can be kind of difficult because you may feel like you're very tired. You don't have a lot of free time. So that person, it's, if these people really knew how much they are destructive in life, I don't think, well, I was going to say that they wouldn't be that way, but that's not true because they don't really have a conscience. So they don't really they wouldn't really feel bad if they were, if they knew that they were causing a lot of misery. Who knows? Maybe they'd even enjoy it. The higher message is the Page of Wands, and this is where things start to get good. This may be also timing-wise when the sun goes into Aries, because, Wands is related to fire, and the Page is kind of like that early start of something. But the Page can be a message. You may receive good news that makes you throw up your baton or whatever that is. And, I always say start spreading the news. And as a higher message card, it really means, that life is one of those things where nothing stays the same. So even if you are in a difficult spot, always remember that there's always hope. There's always a way out of your problems, even when you can't see them. But you have to cultivate a sense of true belief that life is on your side. Sometimes when people have had a lot of tough experiences, they can become unintentionally cynical and think that life is inherently painful. But you will, sometimes you will hear, or if you read like autobiographies or biographies of famous people, which I love to do, by the way, because I realize now that I love to do it is because it's a very spiritual thing to read about how people, became successful or found their talents. And sometimes when things were not so hot, when they weren't at the top of the world, how they managed. And I read some very eclectic characters. I'm not just reading the most famous of the famous. But anyway, the point is that sometimes you will read these people where they have a very difficult childhood, and then things just keep improving. And so, anyway, the Page of Wands can be about things just taking a sudden turn for the better. And sometimes this can be preceded by hearing some wonderful news that gets you happy again. What crosses you is the Queen of Cups. Now, this is what I was going to say. If you are connected to somebody through a child, like if you are, I'm just going to say, because a lot of my viewers are women. I'm gaining more men. Thank you, men. I'm happy to have more men. But if you are connected to a man through a child, um, you know, don't be very vigilant about that, because sometimes, and this can go both ways, sometimes it's the woman who is using the child to try and control the man. But sometimes the man may use the child as an excuse to see the woman and kind of keep an eye out on her and see what she's up to, see if she's dealing with someone else, if she's happy, whatever it is. So it's just another way to control. And, maybe you can find some creative ways where you don't have to personally deal with that person, so that you can, not have him or her being very, being able to see what you're up to. Because if that person is in your life, they have no business with your private life. But you might, if you share a child with that person, that you do have to have some kind of communication, obviously. What's coming in is the Empress card. This is maybe somebody, like, maybe you're not a mother yet, but you're pregnant and you're like trying to get away from a narcissist. This is about where the true focus lies, in the child or the soon-to-be child. If you're in a workplace situation where you're really controlled by money, Libra, remember that, and you are an artist, remember that creative part of yourself, and don't ever allow yourself to be hijacked by material resources to that extent. I feel that this year and next year are going to be very important years for you, Libra. You're going to start to have eclipses in your sign, and that will give you the potential for some memorable experiences that can change the trajectory of your life. And the outcome is the Judgment card. And really, you see that the Judgment card can be about rebirth, and you see that kind of hologram or something of this woman, because she can transform herself into something greater than what she is right now. And the point is, with the Judgment card, is everything boils down to the importance that you give it. If you have the belief that money is everything, then you're going to sell your soul for everything. And when I say sell your soul, what I mean is you're going to sacrifice, in some cases, your happiness simply because you want to make a lot of money. I don't think Libra is necessarily a greedy sign of all the signs in the zodiac, but I do think that Libra people tend to be high maintenance, that they want to have nice things, and that can lead them down the wrong road sometimes. So the point is when I was thinking of that line that Janis Joplin sang, when you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. And no, that was actually Bob Dylan. But the point is that she said something like that. I'm not saying that you don't have to you just have to completely avoid material things. What I'm saying is that if you are not happy in your life, there's only so much time that we're going to be here in the physical. So why in the world would you do something that keeps you from your family, keeps you from your true sense of purpose or your true talents. It can't possibly be worth it. Sometimes we have to do what we have to do in order to pay bills, but sometimes it's simply that we are attached to a certain way of living that maybe is no longer relevant for us anyhow. And the judgment card is also about literally using your judgment or not. And when you don't use your judgment, how does that work out for you? Do you feel this sense of, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, which doesn't even matter anymore when something is over with? All right. Things to think about, Libra. That's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.